Hello. I don't know where to begin here. I could probably put together some big structured argument or rant or whatever you want to call this to talk about this. I could go on for hours, I guess, with structure points, but really I'm just going to go into it and give my thoughts and what I think about this crap. I'm talking about, let me first begin with, I don't consider myself to be a profoundly intelligent person. I know a lot of people are coming onto my rants about 12-year-olds say, oh, this kid's so intelligent. I mean, I'm glad, thanks for all the supportive comments, but really, I'm just another average kid who has different opinions to everyone else. Or I have the sense not to go into all that stupid shit. I'm not one of these goodly intelligent. I get crappy grades. I'm not good with bookwork, but yeah, so I'm loving all the good words, but I don't want people to be expecting all my videos to be really intelligent. I mean, they are going to be smart. I guess stuff that you guys appreciate, or, you know, me disagreeing with the stupid shit that's going on in this world today, but just don't expect my videos to be super intelligent. Anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way, and I know this is a bit late to be doing a video about this, but I'd never even heard of this documentary called Jesus Camp until last night. A friend of mine a friend/fan I've been talking to on Skype has told me about this documentary, and he said it made him sick to his stomach. And I told him he should make a rant about it, but he said it would take him multiple videos to cover the subject, and I guess it would be the same for me if I actually structured it and scripted it or something, but anyway, this person is Unraveling Fallacy. He's just a new channel, but you should check him out. He's got one video covering the argument from ignorance of fallacy. Sorry about that, but yeah, he's a really smart guy. He talks about very pressing issues, and I know he's only got one video, but yeah, you should check him out and subscribe for later stuff. Okay, getting off topic again. I decided maybe I'll check out Jesus Camp and see how I feel about it. So I found it online. I will link you it in the description if you want to watch it. I mean, you can buy it on YouTube for like $4 or something, but I just found it on some website. I didn't pirate it or anything, but anyway, it's a camp where these fundamentalist, evangelical, Christian nutcases send their kids to these Bible camps, but if you've heard of it before, you've watched it, or even been told about it, watched a video about someone talking about it, you'll know it's borderline child abuse. So it's really hot today. Not child abuse in the sense that they're hitting these kids or making them do these horrible things. Well, it's more the way they talk to them and how they... Evangelists are like these extreme radical Christians who you have to be saved by God and let Him in your life, and I don't know the definition of that, but that's pretty much how they are. You're not a true evangelist or Christian or whatever if you haven't been saved by God. Anyway, the way that I think this is child abuse is just the way they're preaching to these kids and how they're screaming, and they diss Harry Potter. Don't diss Harry Potter, he's a warlock, and the crazy parents who send their kids to this camp. I honestly felt sick while watching it too. I felt like crying. Because these kids are... I know I'm jumping around, stuttering, but these kids, when they're at the start, when they're praying, they're speaking in tongues. This not even a language. They think they're speaking through the Holy Spirit or something. I mean, I'm an atheist. But I'll let you guys believe what you want to believe. Believe in your flying spaghetti monster in the sky. I'll go into detail on that later. Anyway, but even you don't have to be an atheist to know that what they're doing is wrong. Normal Christians know that this is wrong. That guy on the radio show in the documentary knows this is wrong. But these kids are crying, and while they're preaching, some kids are like in a ball crying in the fetal position because just the preaching they're doing is so intense. And these are 7 to 8 year old kids. One kid was basically crying on the floor in a ball because he wasn't really feeling God. He said he finds it hard to believe. I'm surprised they didn't go off at this little kid for it. And in one part, the kids have to stand out, I don't know, they're standing somewhere and they have to have these red tape over their mouth that says life, and they're just standing there. Is the tape really necessary? I know the kids seem really into it. If you were to watch this documentary, you'd look at the two sort of main kids, this little girl and the boy Levi, and they're really, really into it. Like, going up to people. The girl goes up to this woman at the bowling alley and gives her this religious booklet or some shit, I don't know. And, yeah, just talks to them about God, and you kind of want to say or think, wow, these kids are dumb. What are these kids on about? They're crazy. But you have to tell yourself, it's not the kid's fault. And that's one of the things that aggravates me so much about this. It's not the kid's fault. It's how they've been raised. They haven't had a chance to think for themselves. These little 7 to 8 year old kids having the idea of God and that they should fight for God being shoved down their throats at such a young age is basically going to fuck their brain for the rest of their lives. They're not going to have any other way of thinking. God's real, that's just how it is. I'm lucky, I wasn't brought up in... My family's technically Catholic, but I wasn't brought up, I never went to church, so I had the ability to think freely and make my own choices, but these kids don't. They're being indoctrinated. That's what this is. It's an indoctrination camp. I just think it's so intense. And some of the kids on the ground spazzing. I don't know if I covered that already, but honestly, these kids don't look like they're enjoying it. I mean, afterwards they talk about how they love it, and there's the odd few that really genuinely do enjoy it, but most of the kids are just bawling. I'm not speaking very well, pausing a lot, because this really makes me angry. And the pastor, Becky, haven't got her last name right now, but the pastor, Becky, she outright lies to the children. At the start, when they're at this little, before the camp, they're at this presentation thingy, and they got these kids dancing to this stupid song, and she's outright lying to the kids. She says Muslims train their kids at age 5 to use rifles and hand grenades. So that's what their kids are doing, so why can't we teach our kids this way? Not teach our kids to have rifles and grenades and stuff, but teach them to fight for your religion. She's just outright lying to him, because that's not how the Muslim faith is. I don't know about the Muslim faith, but I can almost damn well tell you that they're not teaching their kids how to use guns I mean, maybe some of them are, but I don't know. And she basically admits that they're sort of trying to indoctrinate or brainwash these children, because when she's being interviewed by whoever's making this documentary, she says, kids are perfect for what we're doing, because once you tell them something, they're not going to think any other way. It'll stick in their brain forever. They won't get it out. I'm not quoting her directly, but that's essentially what she said. And when the man on the radio show, I believe that man was a Christian, but he definitely didn't agree what was going on in these Bible camps. He was interviewing Pastor Becky, cannot remember her last name, on the phone, and on his radio show. And he's telling her, I don't remember it fully, I watched it last night, but he's basically just telling her that it's wrong, and that she's not giving these kids the option to think on their own. And I know it's their parents' fault for sending them there, but still, she's the one indoctrinating them. And she just says, they're kids, they don't really have their free choice to think anyway. I mean, it was something along those. She did say that. I know I'm not quoting it perfectly because I just want to forget this movie. It was a really good movie, documentary, but just the content is horrible. I mean, if you want to see a horror movie, just watch that. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I know it's pretty old and it's probably been covered to death, but I just wanted to talk about it because, yeah, that movie scared me. Have a nice day. Just a little update to lighten the mood. With my top 50 best YouTubers list, I am changing it to a top 30. Don't think I'm being lazy or I can't be bothered, because I was committed to write. I'd already started planning / script writing for the list, and as I was writing the script for the number 50 to 40 and stuff, I mean, I like the channels, they're good channels, but they're not channels that I can gush about how great they are for like a whole minute or 2 minutes. They're good channels, but I just like them. I don't love them, because it is hard to pick 50 amazing channels, but yeah, for the most part, for most of them, I couldn't gush about how amazing they were, so I think the video will be a lot more interesting and insightful if I just keep it to a top 30. That way, I can speak a great deal on most of them, if not all of them, so that's all on that. Q&A answers coming in about 5 or 6 days, and again, have a nice day.